Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to move this motion. The need to install computerized oil facilities management gadgets for Nigerian crude oil business. It is co-sponsored by 29 very eminent, distinguished senators. Mr. President, the Senate is aware that for over 60 years, over 70% of the Nigerian national income comes from petroleum-related businesses, while the remaining 20% comes from other sundry sources. We are also that 90% of Nigerian export revenue comes from oil, gas, and associated products. Knows that oil exploitation and exploration started in Nigeria in 1957, and commercial quantity for exportation commenced about 1958. And for over 61 years, harvesting and sale of petroleum products has been the mainstay of both the national income and foreign reserve. Knows further that both national gross domestic product (GDP) and income per capita rating by international monetary policies depends on revenue made from the crude production and sales. Believes that the petroleum product business, as the mainstay of our national economy, ought to have been given priority attention in terms of protection, expansion, quantity, and total quality control. Worried that over 61 years in such business as a nation, Nigeria cannot give account of total amount of petroleum products produced, total sold, total wasted, and amount lost through pilfering or pipeline vandalization. Understands that the International Energy Agency put Nigeria production at about 2.53 million barrels per day, well below its oil production capacity of over 3 million barrels per day in 2011. Nigeria is Africa's biggest oil producer with a maximum production capacity of about 2.5 million barrels. But this meager quantity is always under attack through oil platforms theft, petroleum vandalism, which has reduced the quantity produced. Worried that a foreign-based journal, the London Economist, described Nigeria government having wretched reputation in its crude oil governance, as between 100,000 and 400,000 barrels of crude oil are estimated to be stolen, translating to 64 million barrels to 146 million barrels per year. Worried further that while these figures stand doubtful, on August 30, 2019, the Nigeria National Economic Council, through a submission by NNPC, has put the amount of crude oil stolen in the first 6 months of 2019 at 22 million barrels, translating to 1.3 trillion naira for 6 months, or about 3.0 trillion naira per year. Understand that other major oil-producing countries, such as Kuwait, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates, just to mention a few, that have oil as the mainstay of their economies, have computerized management systems that record the quantity of oil produced, quantity sold, and at what price. Same system also have global positioning system, GPS monitoring facilities that can give information on all the entire oil business processes in their countries. Understands further that the computerized oil management system assists in the pipeline protection, trigger off alarms when any section of the pipeline is disturbed for whatever reason. The system detects if there is a weak section along the stretch of the pipeline, indicate the position and point of such section, as well as advices on how to mend or go about it. The same system captures pictures of suspected intruders on the pipelines. The computerized management facilities are equipped with firefighting gadgets in the event of fire outbreak associated with oil and gas production and exploitation. Concerned that till today, while other countries in the same business venture, just as we do, have gone digital with computerized management facilities for the past 50 years, Nigeria as a nation is still doing our petroleum business with analogic technology, using human beings, 4 persons to monitor a kilometer of pipeline, giving undue opportunities to oil pilferers, giving rise to unnecessary pipeline explosion, causing death and unquantifiable loss of products and other human valuables. Believes that the cost of the loss incurred in the first 6 months of 2019 would be near adequate to install any type of sophisticated system that will help manage our inefficiency and salvage the wretched reputation assigned to us by the London Economist. Believes that Nigeria has the capacity in terms of funding to install both pipelines and product evaluation computerized system to save waste, have accurate knowledge of production, as well as avoid pilfering through breakage of pipelines, causing loss of human lives and environmental degradation. Believes further that one key area of fighting corruption is through effective management of the source itself, that is, the source of revenue, just as the present administration emphasizes on the fight against revenue pilfering at different levels of government by operators. It is believed that more revenue than what we can imagine may have been lost through ineffective management of the petroleum products than the physical municipal cash taken by operators of the national economy. Believes that any attempt at solving this major economic hill of the nation will be attempting to protect the provisions of 1999 Constitution in Section 55(5) and Section 16(1)(a) and (b) as given below. 15(5). The state shall abolish all corrupt practices and abuse of power. 16(1). The state shall, within the context of the ideals and objectives for which provisions are made in this Constitution, harness the resources of the nation and promote prosperity and an efficient, a dynamic and self-reliant economy, and control the national economy in such manner as to secure the maximum welfare, freedom, and happiness of every citizen on the basis of social justice and equality of status and opportunity. The Senate accordingly resolves to 1. Mandate the Committee on Petroleum Upstream, Downstream, and Gas Resources to hold a public hearing with the stakeholders to ascertain the quantity of oil and gas produced daily, the quantity control mechanism as currently engaged by NNPC, and if adequate, the amount of waste of petroleum product through pilfering, pipeline vandalization, leakages, and from any other forms, international best practice of computerized oil and gas business management, including pipeline protection and quantity and quality control, and any other advice that could improve the oil and gas business in the country. Prayer number 2. Urge the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to set up a consortium of such experts to evaluate the possibility of installing computerized oil facility management gadgets to curb the excesses of the multifaceted problems associated with the oil and gas production, transportation, and sale business in the country. Mr. President, I so move.